Welcome to the Roadrunner 89 Investment Network, where we talk about interracial love and marriage. Hope you enjoy. Swirl to Investment.
Girl, I like a little vanilla in my life, and I might one day be a white dude's wife. That's alright. Yeah, I got a type. Some people don't like it, but the swirl is the hype. When I see a cute guy, I always gotta think, is he down with the brown? If he is, we about to link. And I ain't talking about the TikTok boys looking for clout, cause we can see right through the facade. Gross me out. I wonder, will he ever like me back? Imagine liking white boys when you're black, especially when you're from the south. The guys that like me are yeehaws with tobacco in their mouth. My celebrity crush, my little cinnamon bun. Ooh, that boy's the one, and I'm still not done. I never met him, he never met me. If he ain't down with the brown, what he about to be? But I digress. Y'all never mind the rest. I just like what I like, speaking from the chest. But hit me up if you're looking for a black girl, cause you know that this girl is down with the swirl. I'm just saying.
All right, welcome to tonight's show, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Today, if you see my news video this morning, it was a live show, but it was pre-recorded. I was doing a test to see how that would turn out. I've always heard I could do that, so I did it, and I threw it together last night. I'm sorry if I was seemed a little tired. It was late at night, and well, anyway, but I'm trying to get some ideas to, when I do my videos, to put a little more into them. When I do a video and just speak what's on my mind. So I'm kind of experimenting with that. But I don't know. I don't want it to seem like a live show when I'm just doing a video either. But I would like to show a video of something else I can react to while doing a video, and not just for live streams. But anyway, I want to welcome everybody to tonight's show and wish everybody a happy weekend. Happy Friday. Long weekend, right? We got Memorial Day coming up, and so federal employees, you're going to be off Monday, and well, not all, but that's coming up. So we have a holiday, time to barbecue, time to spend time with the family, and just want to wish everybody a happy weekend. Tonight's show, what I want to talk about, okay? And if you see in the title, it says, why are black women, white men marriages the most successful? If you look and dig in the stats, you'll find out the most successful marriage is black women, white men. There have been people that have tried to debunk that, tried to come up with some slanted, alternative, outdated stats. There are people that just don't believe it, but it is true, okay? And we're having the most success, black women, white men, when it comes to marriage. That is a beautiful thing. I don't think anybody should be upset about that, okay? When people find true love and they have a successful marriage, we should be happy for them. Not jealous, not upset, not feeling some kind of way, but we should uplift that, right? Now, just because I'm married to a black woman don't mean that I don't want two white people to succeed in a marriage, two black people, a black man and white woman. I want everybody to be successful. Let me get that clear. Okay? Everybody has the right to be with who they want to be with. Okay? I support anybody that does that. Okay? Nobody should be told who they date and marry. Okay? That's totally up to you. You know, but we dig in the stats, we're seeing black women, white men are the most successful. And why is that? There are a lot of reasons people say it is that way. I've heard people say it's white supremacy, white man's got all the power and money and all this stuff, and that's why it works. I don't believe that. Okay. I've also been told, well, that group is so small, that's why it's successful. Well, that's BS too, because a small group could be a total failure too. I've heard that. Okay. You know, and I've heard all kinds of crazy stuff. But if you look at the numbers, numbers do not lie. All right. And some people say that, and I've heard people say, well, it comes from slavery and black women, you know, love the oppressor and all kinds of weird stuff. No, it's just people are finding love. And black women, white men in today's world are finding out we have a lot in common. We have a lot, you know, of things we like that are in common. We're a lot of times we're traditional, we're spiritual. Okay, there's a lot of traditional white men and black women, and we come together, we mesh beautifully. And when you get to know somebody and, you know, find out what their heart truly is and find out what kind of person they are instead of living by stereotypes and generalizations, you'll find there's other groups of people that are good people also. And look, it's none of my business who dates who. And look, and I would say this to men, just because a woman looks like you don't mean she belongs to you. Okay? Black men, black women do not belong to you unless she's your wife. Same thing with white men. Becky don't belong to you, white men, unless that's your wife. You belong to each other. And people in today's world, look, this separate, living separate and segregated, that stuff never worked. It never will work. One group will always have the worst. And I don't understand why there's black people out there that want to go back to segregation. I don't get it. I don't understand it. You think it's going to be better next time around? I don't think so. Because when you separate people and they got to compete for resources, they got to compete for survival, they're going to do what's best for their group. And the other group that don't have the numbers is going to suffer. But we're linked together anyway, so that ain't going to happen anyway. There's too many interracial marriages, too many people that have black and white people in their families. Okay? And it's growing. And that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. But anyway, just to get back to the topic, okay? Black women, white men marriages last the longest. They're the most successful. And why is that? Okay? I'm going to tell you what I think is going on and why they are the most successful. And I'm going to tell you a little bit of my observation, my experiences. Look, I've been married to a black woman over 29 years. So when I come in and talk about black women and white men relationships, I know what the hell I'm talking about. I've lived it. It is my life. Okay? I started dating back in 1985. My first girlfriend was a black girl, right? And I've dated black women exclusively. So I've been through, you know, the interracial dating thing. I've been through the rejection, the acceptance, how people react, family issues, all that mess. I've been attacked from white people and black people also. Also, I've been lifted up by black people and white people that think it's a beautiful thing. Okay? 29 years is a long time to be married. And I want to share my experiences and my marriage. That's why you see me on camera. That's why you see my wife, Sandy. I want to show you the real deal. We're real people. This is happening in our life. This is the choice we made. We opened up our options. I'm not sitting behind an avatar telling you a bunch of stuff. You see me real. You see what I look like. You can see my flaws and whatever. Okay, I'm real. And I got biracial kids and grandkids. So I've went the distance with the interracial thing, opening them up my options. And I want to share that with you guys and let you know how much of a blessing that can be, and how beautiful and amazing Black women are. The world needs to know this. We need to speak up about this, especially white men that are married to Black women. You got to stand up for Black women. You got to speak up for them, uplift them, love them. It's not weak to express your love for a woman. It's not. That's what we should do as men. Okay? But anyway, I'm going to show you some TikToks and you tell me what you think. Okay? I'm going to start with this one. And this is coming from a guy that believes he's the most desirable. Okay? Let me say this before I get there. Okay? I don't look at it as one group of men's the most desire, one group of women's the most desire. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Okay? But there's something, I will say this about Black women: they are the most beautiful and they are the most successful, most loving. And if you look at their character and you look at the stats, numbers don't lie. Most educated. Okay? Most loyal woman on earth is the Black woman. I'm serious. It's just, the only thing is she's not treated the best. And that's sad. It needs to change. But anyway, let me show you this first TikTok video and then I'll break it down and, you can put your comments, what you think about it. Okay?
Man is the Black man.
Okay, let me stop there. Okay, he's going to talk about the Black man being the most desirable.
And the thing about the Black man is fantasized throughout all races and religions and all creeds. So all different kinds of women still want the Black man. The only man that wants the Black woman is the Black man. And she's on us. So what they gonna do when we not here?
So honestly,
bro, the only person that wants the Black woman is the Black man. The white boys ain't dealing with all that noise. They're not dealing with all that mouth. We the only ones that do that, right? And when we not here, they gonna be alone. I'm telling you.
Message.
Okay, let's get Denzel back up here. All right, Denzel, thanks for sharing. Okay. Look, women desire all groups of men, okay, of different races and culture. All right. First of all, I mean, are you the most desired? I don't know. I'd have to ask women. But it really don't matter who's the most desirable. Who is the better man when it comes to love and marriage? And that's what, ladies, you got to think about. Okay? Because women will desire all races of men. Okay? And Denzel over here, saying that all groups fantasize about the Black man. Okay? We hear this all the time. And it just seems odd. It seems like I don't really hear this from Asian men, white men, Hispanic men, Middle Eastern men saying that they're the most desired or the most fantasized or the most group that women are after. I don't hear that. Now, there's probably men in those groups, there are, that think they're the most desirable. Okay? But like I said, that's in the eye of the beholder. If the woman that you're with, she's with you because she's desired you. You desire her. And it's not just physical and sexual. It's, emotional and spiritual too. But what he was saying is Black women, the only people that want Black women are Black men. That is a total bold-faced lie. Interracial marriages are growing with black women. And when it comes to all races of men, sir, the marriages that last the longest are white men with black women. And they've dug into other different ethnicity groups and found out they're more successful with black women. So if black women aren't desired, our marriages wouldn't last. Okay. But this is the propaganda that is put out there, and it seems like this is kind of self-hate in a way. Saying you're the most desired, but your counterpart is the least desired. I beg to differ. But this is what's put out there, guys. This is what a lot of black women are being told. So black women not only are race loyal and believe that white men are the devil, but then they're being told that nobody wants them. So no wonder black women haven't opened up their options that much, right? They're opening up their options now more than ever, but they're the slowest group to do so. And it's because of propaganda and garbage like this. But this is what, and I think this leads to more interracial relationships, because black women hear this and say, you know what, enough of this. They'll open up their options and find out they're desired by other groups of men, and then find out that their marriages last longer when black women date and marry out. Marriages don't last with someone you don't desire. Sorry, it don't work that way. But anyway, what do you guys think about this? Is a black man the most desired? Or is it another group of men? Or does it depend on the individual? I will go with the individual, okay? Because people desire what they desire, right? And some people might desire Denzel here. I'm going to call him Denzel because, and he says white men are not dealing with that noise. No, we deal with black women all the time, and they don't give us problems. I don't know what all this noise is. I've always had, dating pretty much amazing relationships with black women. I haven't seen black women flip out and act crazy. I think that's a stereotype that's projected, and a lot of it's projected from black men, which, it is disgusting. And, and you might not want to date black women, but why do you need to bash them and put them down? Okay. But anyway, let's get Denzel off here. Thank you, Denzel, most desired man. Thank you for coming up. Okay. Now that I got Denzel off the panel here, now I'm going to have this young lady come up. This is another TikTok. Okay. And she breaks it down from most desired, and she explains it. Okay. And she makes much more sense. But anyway, let's put this up here.
Okay, let me just destroy you real quick. You said that according to the stats, black men have more options. Dating apps show that black women are the least picked by interracially. So if you can read, this data is based off 2.4 million interactions between the races. And guess what it says? It says that black men are the least desirable men out of any other men on this dating app. Okay. So y'all love to tell black women that we're the least desirable based off this 10-year-old study of a dating app, OkCupid, that you see. But this is from
Okay, let me stop right there in the middle of this. Sorry, guys. I have to make this point. A lot of times, these beta dumplings, okay, will go in and take old data from old studies and try to project it like it's happening now in real time. The world has changed, okay? More black women, white men are getting married now more than ever, okay? Now, if you look at a stat in 1980, which a lot of these stats go back to that and try to project it as now, you're going to get a different outlook. Okay. Back in the day, people would hide their feelings. People, there were white men that desired black women, but they'd just kind of keep them to themselves. And back in the segregated time, they would have to, they were part of a secret swirl society, you might say. That's what I call it. I call it black women, white men coming together during segregation and having relationships on the down low. Okay. Some of them even had wives, white wives and families, and black women mistresses, and also had families with them. Now that you would say, well, why would a man have two families with two different women? It don't sound right? It sounds wrong, and it is wrong. But at that time, society wasn't accepting if you were married to a black woman, and there are a bit white men that have hid that and lived double lives. Okay. Now maybe the common white guy couldn't do that, but the rich man could. He could finance two different lives, right? There's a story out there of a white man that pretended to be a black man to marry a black woman and lived a double life. He was very wealthy, and he pulled it off for many years, had children with the black woman, had a family, and but there have been many white men that have done this. Okay. And I think back, if I was at that time, and I hate to say this, but I would probably live that double life too, because my heart belongs to the black woman. So, and thank God I'm living in today and not back in the past. That would be horrible. But anyway, let me go ahead and continue.
2 years ago, y'all are not the most desirable. Y'all are, in fact, the least desirable. And this is a big ass pool. This was a big ass dating pool that they looked at. I want you to look down here. It says lowest response rate. Asian women are not responding to black men. Latin women are not responding to black men. White women are not responding to black men. The only women who are responding to black men are black women. So you need to be taking your own advice and not insulting the only women who are foolishly checking for you. And just to take it a step.
Oh, it's kind of interesting. It was she was saying almost the same thing as the black man before, but the other way around. And I believe her more because black women are the most loyal, and some to their detriment. They will stay with the black man no matter what. Some black women are like that. I mean, even if he ain't got nothing going on, even if she's being abused, the conditioning's real. And it happens that way. See, us white men, it ain't that white men don't want to date black women. It's really black women that don't want to date white men. Okay, that's really what's going on. Now there is a kind of a barrier, a cultural barrier that there's some confusion. Sometimes black women are confused how white men approach black women because they're used to Tyrone and his approach, more aggressive, more going in, where Brad's how he approaches is a little different. He kind of feels his way in, waits for that right time, kind of gets to know her, moves a little slower. Tyrone just jumps in. Okay? It's different. Don't let that confuse you. Okay? But really, black women need to open up for this to really take off. White men, we're there. Okay? But anyway, let's continue.
Further, this data right here says that 92% of biracial children with an African American fathers are born out of wedlock, and 82% end up on government assistance. So black women ain't the problem, boo boo, because even when y'all get what y'all say y'all want or that y'all think is so much better than us, those women get the same type of men that we're on here complaining about. So it is not a flex to say that black women don't have options, because we absolutely do have options. But the only thing about black women is that we have a toxic loyalty to black men. And I want to tell every single black woman watching this video to start expanding your app options. I live in an area where I constantly see black women with non-black men, and they have rings on their fingers. Okay? Because these other men ain't shacking up with you for 10 years and making you wait that long so they might propose to you. These other men grew up with fathers in the home. These other men have accepted their role as providers. These other men don't have an issue with taking care of a woman, because they believe that taking care of a woman, especially the woman that they chose to be with, is called manhood. However, BMs believe that taking care of a woman is being a simp. So just look at the difference in the language. I have no idea why black women do not date out more. We are the last race to do it. And because we have a toxic loyalty to these fools, they're on here thinking that we don't have options just because we choose to not exercise them. So the way to shift that is to start exercising your options, ladies. Start dating out. I don't know what y'all are waiting on. Okay, let me.
Okay. Yes, ladies, just do it. Date, open up your options. Be like the Nike commercial. Just do it. Do it. But, vet and, have the same standards for all men. Okay. I think she's right on point. Okay. There is a toxic loyalty to black men. And look, let's not sugarcoat it and say it's not. And we know the truth. White people know what's going on in the black community. We really do. And it's not just men that are married to black women like myself. There are other men that see it. Maybe not as clearly as a black woman would, but we see what's going on. We see how black women are being treated. Okay. And black women are very much desired. Okay. And we have more successful marriages with black women than white women in our community. Okay. Black women, and let me say this, and I'm going to get hate for this, but black women are the best option. They have the biggest heart. They are the most nurturing. They're the most spiritual. Okay. And everything about black women is better than any other group of women. Okay. And people say, well, you're biased because you're married to a black woman. Well, yeah, I'm married to a black woman. I am biased, but, nobody's ever shown me love like a black woman has. And, that's coming from a child to a man married to a black woman. So, and look, my marriage is lasting more than my peers around me that chose to stay with Becky and told me I was crazy to marry that black woman. Yeah. And I look at them now and say, okay, I'm so crazy, right? No, it's you all that are crazy. You didn't see the beauty. You didn't see the blessing. Your eyes were closed. You were stuck on stereotypes and generalizations, and you didn't see the treasure that was in front of you. Oh, I did. And I didn't waste no time. And if I had to do it all over again, I would choose the black woman, hands down. No hesitation. Well, what do you think? Is she right? Now, there are different dating stats that have different results, okay? She's looking at a more modern one where white men are open to dating black women. The other stats, not so much, but I don't know if it's they weren't wanting to date black women or they just weren't telling people. There's a difference. White men have always loved black women since the beginning of time. Don't kid yourself. And you know what? even in our darkest time, the worst time, we've had relationship with black women. And I'm not talking slavery times. You know, I don't consider that a relationship. That's, you know, that's R-ing somebody. But, you know, beyond that, we've always had relationships together. Okay. But in today's world, who's the best option for each other? Just saying. All right. That was a good video. All right. Now let me show. Okay. Yeah.
Less like.
Okay, this is from a white woman, okay? And she's telling what she sees, and she's studied the stats. Okay? And it's very interesting.
So a white guy is almost 45% less likely to get a divorce if he marries a black woman than if he marries a white woman.
You hear that? 45% less chance of a divorce if the white man marries the black woman opposed to him marrying the white woman. So the white man has a much better chance of a successful marriage with the black woman than with the white woman. Interesting, right? But that is true.
It's actually shocking that it's that high. Marriages including a black husband and a white wife were more prone to divorce than those composed of black husbands and black wives. So black men are the best off with black women, and they're the worst off of any racial pairing. So Hispanic and black, white and black, white and Hispanic, Asian and Hispanic, out of all the pairings, a black man and a white woman are the least successful statistically.
Okay, so now our counterparts, right? Black man and white woman is the worst pairing, the least successful. And that's true. It's amazing how that is. Black women, white men are the most successful. Black man, white woman are the least successful. And that is true. I've seen the numbers. I've seen it in real life. Look, I'm married to a black woman. Okay. My brother-in-law was married to a white woman. We have biracial kids. Me and my wife, and my brother-in-law and his wife have biracial kids. My children are more successful. They're all college educated. His children, high school dropout, two of them graduated high school. Okay. And you'd say, well, that's just a coincidence. No, this is happening in other families. I've spoken to people in the same situation that I'm in. Okay. And I love my brother-in-law. He's great, right? But his marriage is not as successful as me and my wife's is. Okay. And I mean, I got theories why that is, but it's overwhelmingly, you know, there's always exceptions to the rule, but from what I've looked at and talking to other people, something's going on. And I would say it's the character of black women, that they're so amazing and they're strategic and they have so much character and love in their heart that you just can't help but love black women. Seriously, if she shows you love, you're done. I say to white men, if you date a black woman and you experience love from her, you're not coming back. You're not going back to Becky. You just ain't going to do it. Okay. I've never seen white men date black women and come back and get with Becky later on. I'm sure there's an exception somewhere, but I have not seen it. In fact, I've seen white men with failed relationships with black women, and when it ends, they go look for another black woman. I'm serious. We see white women bounce back and forth though. But I think black women and white men were more dedicated. We're more strategic. We're looking beyond the here and now. We're looking beyond the good time of hooking up, and we're looking at how far can this go? Is it family going to happen? We're going to have kids, marriage, love, loyalty, legacy. That's what we have. That's why we're winning. Okay? Black women and white men, we're winning today. We're winning big with each other. We're creating our own community, and we're outlasting everybody. And I know I'm going to get hate for this. I don't care. Truth is the truth. You know, I got my hater watchers watching. I got the Beta Dumpling Boys watching me tonight, hating on me, trying to catch the Roadrunner riding dirty. They're trying to. They're not going to do it. They can't do it. I'm clean. My record's clean. You might catch, you might find a speeding ticket, maybe 2 or 3 in my life, but that's all you're going to find. But anyway, just had to put that out there. Shout out to my Beta Dumpling fans. Thanks for supporting the Roadrunner 89 Swirl to Investment Network. Okay? But seriously. But let's continue. Okay? This is some good knowledge.
White women are most likely to have a marriage end in divorce than any other race of women. And that's where I get into how it is beneficial for white women to know this. It's nothing that we should be like offended by or anything like that. Again, these are statistics. People have lives that go against statistics every day. Now, here's another similarity between white men and black women. Black women make the least amount when they're with a black man. A white man makes the least amount of money when he's with a white woman. So that is kind of unique. Okay, but this is what I really wanted to get into, because this is shocking. Of all the pairings, right? So the white man with the black woman is the most successful of all interracial pairings, right? That is...
Okay, you see that? When we marry a black woman, we're the most successful. Not just with our marriage, but with money, with resources, with wealth. And it's not because black women are bringing us wealth, and it's not white supremacy, because white supremacy does not approve of black women and white men. So it's not that. What it is the character of black women. That's what it is. And the character of white men. And we're finding love. We're being strategic. We're coming with love, loyalty, and legacy. And one thing a black woman will do is she will bring out the best in you. And I don't know why a lot of Tyrones haven't figured it out. Instead of being in competition, let her work on you. She'll make you better than you ever thought you could be. And maybe that's how we look at it. I'm not threatened because my wife's successful and highly educated. No. In fact, she pours her love in me and I get energized. There's nothing I cannot do. And you know what? And I've talked to many non-black men married to black women. They'll tell you the same thing. That's what it is. Black women are bringing the best out of white men by their love, their nurturing, and their character, their love, their loyalty. They're bringing that to us and making us better. And you get 2 positives, and look, being with a black woman is the best privilege you can have. It totally crushes white supremacy, whatever that is. Being with a black woman, you're going to have more privilege. You're going to have more love. You're going to have more security. You're going to be financially better off. Okay? And people say, well, you're talking crazy. No, I'm not. The stats are there. I wouldn't be half the man I am without my wife. And I'll admit that. I ain't going to lie. I'd like to say it's all me and I did it and boost my ego, but truth be told, I wouldn't be there without my wife. Just saying. And you know what? With the love that I give back, she becomes better too. You know, and that's why we're the power couple. We build up each other. We lift each other up.
With the fact that a white husband and a black wife are more likely than any other racial pairing to be going into that marriage as a second marriage with children, both of which substantially make divorce far more likely. So imagine if white men and black women didn't have to wait until they were like 50 and divorced with kids to realize that they're actually a good match. You know, imagine if people were kind of more open from the beginning, just how even more likely to be in successful marriages.
Yes, good point. And that's what we need to focus on. Now, in today's world, a lot of white men and black women are getting married later on to each other, right? Now, what if black women and white men came together early when they're young? How much more successful would they be? And thank God I started young with my wife. When I married my wife, I was 24. She was 25, right? She's 10 months older than me. But we're young at that time, you know, and we started out young, and our marriage started out awesome, and it just grew and got better and better as time goes by. And we just, it was amazing. Now, how about younger black women and white men get together when they're young? Start building when you're young. How much more successful would black women and white men be? Just saying. She makes that point. And look, this is coming from a white woman. And she, this ain't really benefiting her in, you know, her combination, right? So, I mean, she's not boosting herself. She's not getting nothing out of this except putting out the truth.
As a white man and a black woman would be. I asked my husband, I was like, how could it be this stark? Like, does it really just boil down to gratitude? And he was like, you know what, Cassie, I think it does. It's like, hey, we're both like the people that get, you know, all the crap from our respective communities. It's relatable. Like, they can kind of relate on that level. That's my guess as to why, even despite all the odds against them, the white man and black woman is the most successful racial pairing. For black men, you hear a lot of the blame for the low marriage rates, for women not being compliant, women not being submissive, they're not feminine enough, they're not, you know, this or that enough. I mean, it turns out that when black women date interracially, they tend to actually be capable of being, you know, good wives and having successful long-term relationships.
Yeah. And you're right. I've never had a problem with being in a relationship with a black woman and her not being feminine. Black women are the most feminine women on earth. But when you put them in a situation where they got to fend for themselves and they're a single mother and, you know, they've been pumped and dumped by dudes they trusted, they're going to be a little angry. They're going to be a little upset. They're going to be emotional. That's not masculine. That's just them, you know, going through what they go through. And I've heard people say that, well, when black women get with white men, they're more feminine, more submissive, more. Yeah, because actually we treat them better. Actually, we embrace them. We don't see them as competition. We see them as the beautiful women that they are, and we embrace that. So, of course, if we're coming with love and respect, she's going to open up more to a man that's, trying to be hard and forceful. You're not going to get a woman to submit by telling her, you need to submit to me. No, it's got to be natural. And submission should only take place in marriage, okay? Your girlfriend should not submit to you, okay? She's not your wife. Two-part deal on this, too. You're supposed to love your wife like Christ loved the church and gave his life for it. So you're supposed to love your wife and give your life for her. That's how much you're supposed to love your wife. So if you want to talk submission, can you give your wife that? Or the woman you're with that? Would you lay down your life for her? If not, you better shut up about submission. Just saying.
With other races of men, whereas black men can't really say the same. When they're matched with other races of women, they're even less likely to be successful than if they're with black women. And white women and black men are the absolutely least successful of any racial pairing. So these issues going on where black women are the ones most commonly blamed for the breakdown of the black family, white men tend to be most commonly blamed for the breakdown of the white family.
Yes. Isn't that crazy? We both take the blame, right? Black women are taking the blame for the black community, for being single mothers, for what's going on, for not being submissive, not understanding. Black women, you got to do better. Hey, your weave, your makeup, all this stupid crap. It's not black women's fault. Black women are doing what they're supposed to. It's just, from what I've seen, this is my opinion, okay? Black men are put on such a pedestal by black women that they get so used to it. And in a way, they're conditioned to think it's not their fault. And black women have to be there to fall on the sword for them. Then black women are conditioned to take care of the black man, be there for the black man, fight for the black man. Just like Brad is told, you got to fight for Becky, you got to take care of her, she's a princess, and you got to, and when the community things happen, you take the blame. And maybe it is gratitude that she was talking about. Maybe black women, white men, we appreciate having somebody that loves us and pours love into us. And maybe that's what really, makes the relationship so awesome, because you have somebody that's pouring their heart and soul into you, and you do it for them, where we don't get that from our counterparts. Could that be it? Just saying. No, what do you think? What do you think it is?
And really, most of the statistics and studies and surveys tend to show that it's the exact opposite. Really, the common denominator in these are actually the black man and the white woman.
What do you think about that? And look, this is a white woman saying this. And I can appreciate her honesty and looking at the stats and seeing it for what it is. And in the stats, it's pretty much putting down white women, right? Statistically. And she's a white woman. So you think she kind of feels some kind of way? But she didn't get emotional and angry and say, "Oh, that's a lie," and start flipping out. So I got to give her credit on that. That shows some character there, putting out the truth, and it don't benefit you. It don't make you look good. Just saying. But that was a good video. And look, the stats are out there. There's been many studies. Think I nailed it? All right. Hey, Indiana mom, good to see you. I noticed you said Trey you're 9 months older than Trey? Okay, Sandy's 10 months older than me, so it's almost like it's crazy. We've been our marriages have lasted have been for 29 years, both of us. Same amount of kids, almost same age groups. It's crazy. But yeah, that's interesting. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to drop the link. If you want to come up, you can. Okay, let me get this link dropped so you guys, if you want to come up, you can do so. You can come up now if you want, or you can wait till I'm done with I got a few more TikToks I'm going to show. And yeah.
As it is, we do not need white men coming sweeping our women up from under us.
Sweeping, it's more like 50 people walk past.
All right, let's go back to the beginning. He's upset about why when Richard Ralph Banks said why black women should consider marrying white men. And and then you got the Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown and her husband.
Enough problems as it is. We do not need white men coming sweeping our women up from under us.
Sweeping, it's more like 50 people walk past the $100 bill on the floor, and now you got 50 people mad because somebody decided to pick it up.
Good point. And that hits the nail on the head. You pass by that $100 bill and then you get mad because somebody else picked it up. Well, you pass by black women, you take them for granted, you don't see the beauty in them, and then some white guy comes by, Brad comes strolling along and picks her up. And then dates her and gets married, and then you're mad. Well, you passed her up. That's your fault. Just like the thing with Serena Williams, right? She was dating black men and they wouldn't marry her. They wouldn't wife her up. Then this white guy comes along and does it, and everybody's pissed. Well, hey, that's your own fault. I mean, black men do not know how blessed they are. They just don't. They don't get it. A lot of times they don't. They don't understand how valuable black women are and how beautiful they are. They don't see the value in black women. And maybe because they've been taken care of so much by black women, they don't appreciate what they got. But then they're mad when Brad wifes her up. Okay. But that's a good point. Okay. Yeah, the link's down there. So if you want to come up, let me put it again. But I got some more videos I want to show you guys. I got 3 more TikToks. Okay, it says, oh shoot. My internet's acting crazy, guys. I don't know. So I'll put the link up there, but anyway, let me get through these other TikToks. So if you have trouble coming up, just let me know in the chat, because my internet is going on and off. Got some construction going on. I live in such a new area that sometimes I have trouble. Hey there, Indiana mom.
Hey,
How's
how
it?
are you?
Good. How you doing? Good to see you. Um,
Really good.
that was amazing. You're 9 months older than Trey
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
or Tree. I'm sorry, Tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Um.
just his nickname.
Yeah. Yeah. I got it. Well, Sandy's 10 months older than me, and it's crazy that we got married the same year.
It is so weird. I think we
And
married like 2 months after you guys.
yeah, you were 2 months after us. The same year, 94.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, and we both have kids and grandkids, and
One boy, 2 girls,
yeah, I got that combination also. I
grandbaby.
yeah, I
But
got
like I said, you have me beat on the grandbabies.
I got two. You got one,
Yeah.
but I'm sure you'll catch up.
Look, don't do that to me. Look, she's as beautiful as it is. Don't do that to me.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying now. This is late. This is the future. I'm not. Yeah.
But I do have both of my daughters, like right now, the older daughter, she'll be graduating at the end of this year and is already engaged.
Oh, okay.
And our baby is starting her sophomore year of college, but she's with her longtime boyfriend, so there's probably an engagement coming up in a couple years from her too.
Okay. Well, marriages, and then children come along, and then you have a house full of grandkids. I'm looking forward to that. But like you, I don't want it now. Let's get it together.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's amazing. But I was just tonight talking about why black women and white men's relationships are the best, longest lasting. And I know there's people out there that try to debunk it. They'll go anywhere from white supremacy to we're a small group, that's why we're successful type crap. A lot of propaganda.
Right.
And it just, the truth is the truth. Actually, we, in today's world, white men are showing black women more love than black men are. I mean, the truth is the truth.
But
go ahead.
White men have always shown more love for us. This isn't new.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's more out in the open. We're seeing this in real time, and they can't hide the stats forever. They try, and they still try to discourage black women from dating and marrying out. And the crazy thing is the more they try to fight it, the more they push it forward
and expose themselves.
Yeah, they expose themselves. I got some beta dudes that go in and call my wife a bed wench and just put it out there, and I'm thinking,
what?
Mm-hmm.
I sleep on a big, massive, king-size, comfortable bed in a nice house with central air and all the amenities and all the comforts. So I will be that bed wench, no problem.
And
I'm
what?
Cool with that.
It's and my wife said the same thing. She said, okay, whatever.
I don't care.
But how is that going to build you up with other black women? Because I know black women see that, and even the pro hardcore pick Mishas out there, they got to say, wait a minute, you're attacking a black woman. But I don't know. It just
doesn't matter. No, most black women, the black women that are like the mammies and the pick Mishas and what have you, they don't like each other anyway. They don't like black women anyway. The only black women that like each other literally are the divested black women. We get along because we get it. We understand that we are not the problem, and we're not competing with each other for black men. So we get along.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it appears that divested black women do get along better than the
Yes,
pro-black
we get
women.
along great.
Yeah. I mean, from what I've seen, now there's always, people have falling outs and stuff, but from when it comes to moving strategic, I think divested women are there for the most part. And, and through my journey on YouTube, I've learned more about divestment and what it is, to where the more I learn about it, the more I support it, because before, when I first came in, there are people, oh, well, divestment, they just go around hating black men. No, they don't. They just want a better life. They want a better situation. They're trying to heal from stuff that's happened. And,
Right.
you know, um,
And I see a comment from Pinky,
mhm.
and she said that divestors shouldn't be around the pick-me's and mammies because it's dangerous. And I agree.
Yeah.
My family is living proof of that. My older sister, myself, and I have 3 cousins, black women. We all dated and married out in the 90s, and we're still married. We have kids of various ages because we're not all
Mhm.
the same age. We're still all happily married. We have properties, we have businesses. Our
Mhm.
kids are happy. Our kids are educated. We're doing well. And then I have my one cousin that I had to literally cut out of my life. I probably haven't spoken to her in 20 years
Mm.
because she is, oh, geez. I think when we were younger, she was a pick me,
Mm.
but now she is a full fledged mammy.
Oh.
She's got like 5 kids. None of them are educated. They're in and out of juvenile hall. They're they're the kids that are torturing their teachers, and just, I mean, just terrible behavior. And like 20 years ago, I saw this coming because um she needed a babysitter for some whatever reason or other. And I said, okay. And I babysat her kids for just a 5-6 hours while she went to her little part-time job, because none of her baby daddies, because there's 4 baby daddies, but
Mm.
none of them were paying child support or contributing to the children or anything. So I watched her kids, and that was the day I was like, oh, I'm never doing this again. I can never. No. I mean, I don't think I've ever been so stressed out.
Mhm.
And then when we would go to like family reunions and such, um I would get comments on like, your kids are so well behaved. Your kids your kids are so intelligent. Oh, your kids are so respectful. And and I mean, I would hear that
Mhm.
all day long, like like it was something that wasn't normal. And then I realized, oh my God, this in the black community, that isn't normal.
Mm.
It isn't normal.
Yeah.
It kind of messed with me a little bit because I my son, when he was like 3 years old, we took him out to a fancy restaurant for Mother's Day, which his father planned all of that. And he had his little suit on and he had a tie on, and he had, look, my husband, put the money in my son's pocket so that after dinner on Mother's Day, my son could pay the tab and leave the tip. Okay. And we're sitting in this restaurant, and my little boy has his little hands folded in his lap, and he said, please and thank you. And he ordered spaghetti for mommy. He's like, the lady will have spaghetti. And oh my God. Oh, dude, I was so touched. And the whole time, my husband's sitting on the other side of the table, just grinning. Like, yeah, that's my boy. I taught him that, you know? And now my son is 25 years old, and he's still the same little gentleman that he was back then. And I don't think it's weird. I think that's normal. But in the Black community, that's something that's celebrated because it's not normal.
Yeah. Yeah. That, and well, we need to teach our boys to be gentlemen, to, take care of things, be providers. My son, when he comes home, and he's in the Army, he comes home on leave, and he takes care of his sister.
So he followed in Dad's footsteps.
Yeah, and
yes,
he does. He takes care of his sisters. He spends money on them. He treats them well. He has love and respect for his sisters, and they love their brother, of course, but he's just got. Well, he's been trained that we take care of women. That's what we're supposed to do as men. And when you get in the habit, like you did with your son, have him pay the bill and the tip, you're showing him this is what men do. Okay, you take care of your wife and your.
But I didn't show him that. His father did that. That was all planned behind my back, which is what men are supposed to do. The problem is that every single generation of Black men seem to abandon their children. The girls do okay because the girls follow their mother's footsteps.
Yeah, and I would say too that a lot of times when you get a Black man that seems like he's showing love and caring for the woman he's with, it's like they shame him. Like, you're a simp, you're weak, you're just and that blows my mind, because I'm like, wait a minute, aren't we supposed to show love and respect to the women that we love?
It's not the women that you love, it's Black women, period. Because if any man shows love and respect and protects and provides for any other race of woman, it's okay. It's only if it's a Black woman, then they're a simp.
Yeah, I think that's how it works. But it just blows my mind. It's like,
but that's part of the programming. That's part of the brainwashing.
Yeah. Well, and then if you're that way, then she's forced to take care of you because you're not. I don't know.
It's the brainwashing, like in other communities, like the Asian community, the white community, the Indian community, the Hispanic community, all those other communities, the men compete with each other for favor of the women. And in the Black community, it's the women competing for the men.
Yeah.
It's all backwards.
Yep. Yeah. Let me show these videos real quick. I got two more TikToks.
Cool.
And just see what you guys think about these.
Cool.
Women with white men tend to be the best combination.
See, this is what I be talking about, man. Continuously out here acting crazy. Like, we can't have no togetherness for 1 minute. And you got a woman on here talking about Well, the white man better than y'all blacks. Y'all black men, y'all ain't nothing. The white man do us way better. No, the white man be allowing y'all to be out there acting crazy, be out there cutting the fool in public, and he's just standing back there. He ain't pulling you, being like, "Yo, you need to chill out." Nah, he lets you do what you do. And sometimes doing what you do is not the best thing. It's not always the best situation. Like you ever had those times where you can fight somebody, but it's probably not the best thing to do because there's consequences to fighting people and doing things that you shouldn't be doing in a civilized society. Yeah, that's what black men aren't gonna allow, and y'all don't like that, and that's okay. But don't be out here trying to bash black men. We gotta.
Okay, so I don't know what he's talking about. Like, we let black women act crazy, and I guess they're going to get us into a fight, and we just let them do whatever. But the black man keeps control. And
what?
No, that I mean, what he's saying, it's like, what? I didn't.
The projection.
I mean, it's like he's saying that black women are just nuts and just flip out, and white man's just letting them do whatever. And then he's saying this woman's bashing black men. She just said, why is it that black women relationships work better? That's not bashing. That's just asking why. Putting out stats, putting out the truth is not bashing. It's putting out the truth.
Straight up. But for one, my husband would never put me in a situation where I would have to be masculine and fighting or protecting my that's just not I can't I don't even understand I don't understand that. And if a situation does happen, which it's possible, my husband would be the one fighting, not me. He would hand me the keys and say, go get in the truck and call 911 right now. Period.
It's just the projection is nuts. I don't know. I've never experienced what he's talking about.
I haven't either. I don't understand that.
Yeah, it's
that
a
makes
projection.
No sense.
He's upset because he's hearing that black women and white men are the best option. He don't like.
He thinks the women that white men are getting are his ghetto like pick-me's, and they're not.
Yeah, I've never had a black woman do that. I don't know.
No.
It's just and look, before
my husband would immediately be like, "You're not being ladylike. You need to take the keys and go get in the truck and call 911 and let me handle this situation."
Yeah.
Period.
Yep. Hey, all right, let me put this down. Hey, they're Pro and Alexander.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you guys. Yeah, I was just
well, I wanted to say something. I wanted to piggyback off of Indiana Mom. This is the thing. Black males are so used to manipulating black women that they're still doing it. Like they're still doing it. Like that's what it is, because they're so used to manipulating us, and now that they're starting to realize they can't do that anymore, that's what the problem is. You know what I'm saying? We all know that white men is perfect. No man is perfect, and that's not the point. But there's no way that you're going to sit here and compare white men to black men to any other group of men and not sit here and say there's a problem here. I mean, but it is what it is at the end of the day. I'm going to just say that because I'm not staying long. I'm actually going out, but I just wanted to come on because I see that you're live, and that's it.
Okay, well, it's good to see you. Thanks for dropping in.
Nice hearing from you, Pro.
Thank you so much, Indiana Mom. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's this is all crazy though. But look, hey, there's a shift coming, ladies and gentlemen, and There's going to be a lot more black women, white men marriages. I'm telling you. They could keep saying only 1% of white men are with black women. Okay, what's the percentage of black women with white men?
Brent, you don't have to really go over that. This is
I
not
know.
this is not an intelligent group of people. Obviously, they don't know how to read statistics. I mean, listen, I've made it very clear what I believe the issue is, and some people might not agree because we know what that means. But I've made it very clear what it is. You understand? And I'm not going to talk about that on your channel. That's for my channel, out of respect for your channel. But they don't know how to read statistics, because if black women are 7% of the country and white males make up 30%, then obviously it is going to only be 1% because black women make up 7%. But when you're dealing with these type of people, these particular group of people, they're not going to understand that. So it just is what it is, because they don't know how to read statistics, because most of them don't even know how to read, really. So that's really the truth.
We don't need all of the white men. We just need one each. Hello? How many?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to have like 20 of them?
Hey,
no.
If every black woman had a white husband, the percentage of white men married to black women would be only 28%.
Exactly.
So even if every black woman married a white man, the percentage would still be low, because there's millions.
And the whole country would be a better place.
Oh, yes, it would. No doubt. But look,
and our children would be happier and more educated.
Hey, put this in perspective. Did you know less than 1% serve in the active military in America? That includes the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard.
Yes.
Think about that. So there are more white men married to black women that are serving our country on active duty today. And I think combined it's like 1.3%. That's with the National Guard and reserves and all that stuff. So think about it. That's a lot of people. So when they say only 1%, but they always use white men, because there's millions more white men. And the population of white men, non-Hispanics, like 30 to 35%.
Brent, you don't have to really explain it. They know exactly what they're doing. This is why they go around and talk about how over 80% of black men marry black women. And that's within what? The 27% that do marry black women. And most of them marry black women for financial reasons. They don't even, so it's just is what it is. So, I mean, that's a part of the game. They're very manipulative, and they're gaslighters. And this is what they just do. It's just, we've seen this so many times with slavery, with Jim Crow. They complain about Jim Crow, but they want to be put back into it. I mean, at this point, I don't know. I just don't know anymore. It's like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I've just learned that this is a failed group of people. And it's time for black women to turn it into something else, because this is not working. And that's just really what it is. But like I said, I'm not staying because I'm going out. So, I just wanted to come up and say hello and stuff like that. And, I'll stay a few minutes or whatever. It's Friday. I like to have my fun.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
just stay out of trouble, because no, I'm just messing with you. I know you will.
No, that's right. Yes, I do need to stay out of trouble.
Yeah. But I'm glad I'm glad you came up. I got this last TikTok I want to show you guys, and tell me what you think of this.
All right.
This is the last one.
Me saying too much real shit.
Okay, she's going to say too much real.
Oh, she's pretty.
Yeah, she is.
Y'all gonna have me saying too much real shit today. Just so y'all know, y'all finna have me saying way too much real shit today, baby, and it's not ready. So this comment was on the video about colorism and dark-skinned women being violent. Hence why when black women get with white men, those marriages last longer than anybody's. We just need a soft place to land. You know what's so interesting about this? I oftentimes see, the boys, black men talking about black women in interracial relationships, and they say, oh, it's because y'all submit to them and y'all don't submit to us, when really that is not what it is. Okay, so now, like, I'm currently in a relationship with a black man, but I have interracially dated. And honestly, the truth of the matter is, baby, and they not gonna like it, they love every single thing that black men hate. Yes, I said it. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, why are you with a black man, young lady? But anyway, okay, think about it, how black men dogged Serena Williams, calling her Minnie and fetishizing her. Yeah, and look, they were so mad that she married that white guy, but where was Drake? He had his finger in his, well, sorry, he had his thumb where he wasn't thinking right. I'm just saying, where were the black men that dated her? Why didn't they wife her up? But anyway.
Yes, I said it. They love everything that black men hate. They love the sassiness. Okay? They love the blunt directness. Okay? They love the opinions. They love that you're intelligent and that you're smart and that you have something to say. Okay?
Yes.
They love the assertiveness of you. Okay?
Yes, and we do. You know what? And I'll say this. When black women have an opinion and they tell you exactly what they think and they just go in, actually that's attractive. I found that attractive. People say you're weird because she's going off.
No, Tree agrees. Tree's like, you're so opinionated, and he's like, you don't back down, you speak your mind. He's like, yes.
It's passion. Nobody
it's
has passion.
The qualities. We have the same qualities. That's what it is. We have the same qualities, where we want the same things. That's what it is. But I got to step down, guys. I might come back up if you guys are still up here, but I'm going to go back to and have some more fun, because that's what I love to do. So
all right, Pro. We'll see you. Have fun, young lady.
No problem.
All right.
No problem. See you guys later.
All right. Have a good night. Okay.
Bye. They love how straight up that you are. They love the realness. They love your hair when it's nappy. They love how dark your skin is. They love how rich and melanated you are. They love that shit. They love it. I'm telling you, every single thing that I've ever been tore down about by a brother, when I've interracially dated, because I started my life actually interracially dating and then dated black men, because I do not come from a predominantly black area. So that's all I had.
She'll learn.
Yeah, gag me with a pitchfork.
Okay, well, I mean, whoever she wants to be with, that's her choice.
Yeah, okay.
But anyway,
access to. But what I noticed was, oftentimes, when I did date out, they like that. I'm the same OG. I am literally the same girl in a relationship, no matter who I'm in a relationship with. Okay. And I have experienced more toxic relationships with black men than non-black men. And it's because I think of the situations that they put you in. And it's not to say that every interracial, dating experience is going to be a positive experience. However, what I can say is that the way that you're viewed is different. Just like how when black men date out, they feel like those women are exotic and they're foreign and they're exciting and they're different. Well, non-black men, when they date black women, feel the same way. Like, we're exotic, we're different. How we do things is different. How we think about things is different. And they're fascinated. And yes, you'll have some that'll fetishize you, but I believe we're fetishized as well in the black community. Okay. Yeah, you'll have some that'll.
Oh, wow. Say it isn't so. I thought white men had a monopoly on fetishization.
Right.
I thought we're the only ones that were able to do that. You mean black men don't fetishize black women or white women?
Okay, side note, just for the chat. Side note, just for the chat.
Mm-hmm.
My husband just walked into this room quietly because he's like, oh, she's unalive. He tiptoed into the room, put a plate down of, I have tomato soup and a grilled cheese sandwich and a glass of wine. And then he tiptoed out after he kissed me on my forehead. That's what y'all do for us.
That's awesome.
That's what y'all do for us.
Yeah. But
I didn't know I was hungry until this plate showed up in front of my face.
Well, now you know.
And now, yeah, I'm ready to chow.
There you go.
And the dog is looking at me like, okay, no, you're not. Yeah, she's not getting any of this.
Yeah. Let's
mistreat you, but I feel like we're mistreated as well in the Black community. You know, you run the same risk if you're gonna date men, period. But I definitely feel like it's different because of how it's viewed. You're appreciated and loved more. That's why they last.
Oh, wow. You know what's amazing? She said she's with a Black man, but spilled out facts about interracial relationships. Did she get a hold of the unicorn or the, a diamond in the rough, the good Black man? Did she find one? Because it just, I don't know. It just. But what do you think? She had some good points, though. And really, that's really what it is. And I've heard Black men say, oh, okay, well, white men, they're colorist because they get the darkest complected Black women, and that ain't true. You'll see a lot of white men with dark complected Black women, but you know why that is? A lot of times that's who we have more access to, because I think a lot of Black women feel comfortable with white men because they don't talk about their skin tone. They don't make that an issue. We don't even think about that. And in fact, what she was saying, that white men love what Black men hate. I mean, we embrace a Black woman for her features, her dark skin, or she could be light skinned. I never really thought about that. We just love Black women. And two, I think Black women, they feel more comfortable with white men because we don't talk about her features like that. We don't talk about her hair, her weave. We don't care really. Look, some men say they like Black women with natural hair or different hairstyle. Look, I love Black women whether they got braided hair, a weave, or a wig. I look, if she's happy and feels comfortable in what she's doing, I'm happy too. If my wife, whatever she wears, and my wife's had different hairstyles, she's had weaves, braids, wigs, different. The only time I get concerned when it's hair is when Black women put chemicals or put heat to it, because I don't want my wife to damage her hair. So that'd be the only time I really say something. But my wife don't do that. But that's the only time I'd be concerned, is when it's health to her hair, when it's a health issue. Because I've seen Black women destroy their hair putting perms in or straightening it too much and it breaks off. That would be my only concern. Now, whatever she wears, that's fine. Black women look beautiful no matter what hairstyle they have. And weaves do look nice. I won't say it. The one thing I don't like about the weave is it don't last that long. Especially with my wife's hair, because her hair grows fast. So it looks nice for a while and then it starts growing out. And then I got to help her take it out. But it makes her happy. She can have it. And I think Black women appreciate that you're not all over by what hairstyle she has. And a lot of white men, we don't even know. I didn't really learn about what a weave was until I married my wife. I just knew Black women didn't like you touching their hair. And I thought, well, wow, okay. You know, Becky loves you playing in her hair, but it's a different, you know. But anyway, but I think black women appreciate that. Just having love for them. Yeah, some white men do care about skin tone. That's true. But I believe most of us don't really care. I never did. I never even thought it was, I never even looked at it that way. I just thought it was weird. You know, I had a black friend that, you know, made fun of me because I, you know, was going to marry my wife and she was dark skinned. And I was like, I was confused because at that time my grandmother said something about my wife's dark skin. And I knew where she was coming from. I knew what she was talking about. And I wasn't happy about it. But coming from a black man, it threw me for a loop. Like, what? You know? And it was like, oh no, man, I didn't mean it that way. I'm just joking. Yeah, right. I just, there's colorism, and you know, we know, you know, white supremacy had those views, but you see it with black men. It's like, what's going on? And black men are white supremacists. A lot are. Let me tell you. And they'll say they're not, but they're sure putting forth white supremacist views, especially with this colorism thing. Just saying. But anyway, but let me go ahead and bring this down. I thought this was a good video. She hit a lot of good points. And that's why black women, white men relationships are lasting. It's because we're showing love for each other. You know, and ladies, when a black man approaches you, or when a white man approaches you, ladies, and he wants to date you and wants to be with you, you know, be cautious, but just know that a lot of us, when we have relationships with black women, we do have people that try to shame us and attack us too. Maybe not as much as black women go through, but we still deal with that. And look, I've had to cut ties with family members. Back when I was dating, when I married my wife, I had to cut people off because my wife comes first, even family members. And I would have cut my mother and father off if they, you know, disrespected my wife. It just wasn't going to happen. You know, fortunately, my mother and father, you know, were okay with it and loved my wife and welcomed her to the family. But if they didn't, they'd be cut off too. You know, but some people have to go that extreme and even cut off their parents. You know, so when a white man loves you, ladies, he really loves you, and you're his treasure. You know, black women have always been my treasure. I've always, look, I prayed to God that God would give me a black woman for a wife. That's how deep my love is. And I look at my life now and I'm so grateful for what I got, my wife, you know, and she definitely is the better half by far. It ain't even close. But, you know, I'm thankful and I'm blessed. And you know what? When it comes to black women, you know, most of the time I was never disappointed. Black women that love you will do anything for you. You know, and I want the world to see this. I want other men to see it. I want good men to, you know, seek out black women. You know, black women are that treasure, that hidden treasure that's amongst us. And we walk around black women every day. You might not be in a black community, but there's a black woman that you work with, that you see in the store, that you pass by. A lot of times you're passing by that treasure, that beautiful woman that's got a big heart, that's got a lot of love. Now, are all black women that way? No, of course not. But in the collective, you're better off with the black woman. I'm just saying. And that's that's not an attack on people that are married to white women or Asian. I have nothing against that. I'm just saying numbers don't lie, and black women embrace that. You need to feel good about that because you're doing amazing things. And just because the world ain't telling you that, don't mean it's not true. We see what's going on. The truth will surface, and it is. And black men can't make black women this beauty standard. Us as white men need to do it. In fact, you are the beauty standard. People are trying to do surgeries to look like you, what you naturally have, ladies. So you are the beauty standard. Just saying. But anyway, sorry guys, I got kind of long-winded there.
Yeah. Before I came on, I got finished with a live about Alicia Watts, and
oh yeah.
I started crying because, as you said, black women do have kind. Black women do have kind-hearted souls. They do, and again, for me, I do think that black women should date out, but and I also think they need to heal from the trauma, and after, and then they can re-enter the dating world. And because I believe that when black men started singing, saying bad things about black women, that was the time I believe that black women should it should say enough is enough, uh, and I do not blame black women who date out, because again, when you got everything that is going on here in the black community, my question is, why stay in a community that doesn't love you back?
Yeah, I agree. And it's just sad because I see so many black women that just give their heart and soul in relationships. And that Alicia Watts case, that was sad because she was 39 and I think the guy was 50 something. And we see these tragedies with black women all the time. And black women, they have a big heart, and the relationship might not work out. She might not be interested in you, but why take her life? There's us as men, women outnumber men across the board. So why? I mean, I don't know. I guess, but this dude had such a rap sheet that she didn't know, obviously. But I showed that story not just to do it as a news report, but I wanted women to see that and just be cautious. It don't matter the color of the man. You got to be cautious. There are sickos in every group. And look, and they were talking about you can do a background check and it's free. You know, they at the county courthouse, they're saying they have a kiosk. You can do that. Um, you know, and that's a good idea because you don't know who you're dealing with when you first meet somebody. And look, we've all done this. We've went on dates with someone we don't even know. Um, you know, there was times I went on dates when I was young. I'd meet a young lady and we'd hang out and go places, and we go to secluded places, no big deal. But really you shouldn't do that as men and women till you know who you're with. Um, you know, and especially women, because women are vulnerable. Okay. Women are weaker than men. Okay. Men overpower women and they're in more danger. Now, can a woman unalive a man? Sure. I mean, men need to be cautious too, but more so women. And black women, you're in the most danger of any group of women, hands down. Okay. So you really got to be cautious. And look, do a background check. If you know, it might save your life. You might find out that he's got a record. And most good men would care less if you do a background check. They'd be like, do you? But you don't even have to let them know. But you know, if a man does have a problem with that, then you know that's a red flag. You know, but somebody in the comments said that some women don't care if he's got a rap sheet. Well, I mean, you're taking your life in your own hands. I mean, especially if it's a sexual assault thing or a, you know, essay, and you know, I just this world's a dangerous world, and women, protect yourself. Black women, especially, protect yourself. Okay. We've seen black women have always been the most vulnerable. You know, and I think what will help the black femicide is women opening up their options, being more cautious, being with men that have more wealth than you. And I know that might sound bad to some people, but think about it. You don't want to depend on the man. I mean, you don't want the man to depend on you. Not only is it going to stress you out, but it can be nerve-wracking. And us as men, we don't feel good when the woman's taking care of stuff, and we can't. You know, so that might be a thing. But be cautious too. A rich man can, you know, harm you just like a poor man can. So don't think because he's got money you're safe. Okay. But what I'm saying is, you know, you got to have assets. You got to have wealth. You got to have stability. And ladies, there's nothing wrong with wanting a man that's got it together, that has some resources. You know, because you want to be in a safe place. You want to be in a home. You want your children to be taken care of, right? That's not a gold digger. That's just wanting the best for you and your family. You know? But anyway, but that's my spiel on it. I'm going to shut this down here soon, but anyway, it's already, wow, it's 10:20 where I'm at. Guys, I'm going to add some stuff to my news program, the Swirl to Investment News Network. What would you guys like me to add to that besides just the story? You want me to put a sports thing in there? You want me to put weather in there? I'm thinking about adding a little something to it. You know, and then my prayer meeting too. What would you like me to add to that? You know, I'm just thinking of ways to make this more enjoyable, make this more of something you guys want to see, because this is about you. But anyway, but but think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Be cautious, okay? Black women, white men, we're doing the best because we're putting in the most work. And look, I think in our world today, it revolves around the black woman. It really does. And people are going to say, you're crazy. What are you talking about? That's only 7% of the population. Yes, but that is the group that's the most loving, most nurturing, most spiritual. Okay, that's the black woman. Now, the black woman's been the most mistreated, most harassed, most unalived, statistically. And, we need to fix that. And it's our responsibility as men to do that. And God's going to hold us in judgment if we don't do what's right.
But it should be the responsibility of all men.
It is. Yeah, it is. And it should be. Yes. Black, white, Asian. We should take care of women, period.
But the problem is the only men on the planet that don't take care of their women or any women are the black men. All the rest of you guys are doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. But, we're lacking too. I mean, we need to be better men. We need to.
Well, no, nobody's perfect, but.
Yeah.
Dude, y'all, black men can't even compare. They can't even compete with you guys with education, jobs, family, marriage, relationships.
Yeah.
They can't.
Yeah. Talk more about Revelations. Yeah, I should dig in the Revelations. There's some stuff going on. Yeah. But yeah, hey guys, if you have any input you want me to do or you think's a good idea, please email me and let me know. This is your channel. This is your platform. I take all kinds of ideas. I take constructive criticism too. I just ask that you don't put it in my comments. Send me an email. Yeah, go ahead.
I've been on YouTube, and I'm just now figuring out some of the cases where black women went missing or they were unalived. And some of the cases are old. They go some of them go back to 2016.
Yeah.
Some of them go all the way to the early 2000s and everything.
Dude, there's some that I remember from the 70s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if you go to the news channels on YouTube, like ABC 11, or you get like the channels like in Detroit or Chicago or New York, Los Angeles, all over the country, there are, news organizations. They have a YouTube channel too. You can go in and research this stuff. And it's happening all the time. I could do a news report every day on black women being unalived. I'll do that, but I want to do positive things too. I want to show what black women are accomplishing. Because I don't like just doing the negative. We got to do it, but if you look into that, and it's so sad because I see so many beautiful black women that have their life ahead of them, and of all ages, that are real young in their 20s to their 50s, and it's just mind-boggling. And it seems when this stuff happens the most is when the relationship comes to an end. That's usually when the violence happens. and even black women that see the red flags and get out of that situation. Sometimes the guy searches them out and unalives them. And that's sad and it's scary because we're losing a national treasure we have, and that's black women. They do a lot for our country, for our communities. Black women are amazing. It's just a shame that people don't see it, or they don't even. I mean, it's a shame that the media don't uplift black women.
Alexander, I just put a article in the back chat about 6 black women that went missing in the 1970s, and maybe you can do a live about that. Both of you guys can do a live about that.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And they went missing during the 70s?
In the 1970s, yes.
Yeah.
And did they get their justice, or?
The cases weren't solved. I believe the cases were solved in 2015.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh man.
Yeah.
I've been
happening all along. It's been happening all along. We just now have the internet so that the whole world is privy to it. But this has been happening all along.
Yeah.
Man.
Losing their cash cows. Yeah, and speaking of losing their cash cows, I would say this too. I think what's going on too is what we need to do with our children, and I'm talking to all people. Raise your boys to be providers. Do not coddle boys because they end up becoming weak men. They do. Men are not princesses, okay? We should not treat our boys like princesses. Treat them like little men. Like, look, this is what a man does. This is what you need to do, okay? You go out, you work, you take care of your family. That's your job. My father always told me, he said, son, if your wife's messed up, if your kids are messed up, it's your fault. It's your responsibility to hold the family together. And it's your responsibility to choose the right woman too, we need to teach our boys to be little men. And so when they grow up, they become real men and they know what they're supposed to do. But I think unfortunately, a lot of times, and that's how you get a beta dumpling, because the mother tells him he's the best thing ever, the best looking little man. And he grows up, and then in the community, mama's telling him he's the best. Big mama's telling him he's, better looking than anybody. And so he grows up thinking, wow, I'm the most desired. Oh, wow, And then when he gets in the real world, and there's some black women that aren't interested in him and don't think he's the most desired, then he don't know what to do. He loses his mind. Because once you tell people they're great, and especially as little kids, you're going to create a problem. You're going to create a monster. You got to have humility. And people got to understand that you're not the greatest. You're not the best. And people that are the best have to work hard to be the best. And usually the people that are the best, they don't usually brag about it. They just do their thing.
That's true.
It is. It's true. The people that are doing amazing things, that are successful, they don't talk about themselves. They rarely do. The woman that's so beautiful, everybody wants to be with her. She's not telling the world how beautiful she is because she don't need to. the guy that's successful and the good-looking guy that's growing up, he knows he's that. He don't tell anybody that. But
a good example that I have is that the cousin that I had to cut ties with, the mammy cousin, when her child, one of her sons, I don't know, I don't even know their names, but whatever. When one of them played like a peewee football team or something, and he complained that he didn't play the position that he wanted to play. She marched herself up to that field and literally cussed out the coach. And the coach is supposed to be in charge. And I was just like, I don't understand why you're doing that. And then the opposite is when my son was in second or third year of baseball. He wanted to be, in the infield. And he was one of the younger kids on his team. And he's just like, I want to play second base. I don't want to be in right field. And my husband sat him down and said, dude, you're one of the youngest ones on the team. All the older kids have more experience. The coach is putting everybody in the position where he thinks they will do their best job. If you want to play second base, then you need to start working on catching and fielding and doing everything the coach tells you to do. And you need to earn that spot at second base. He's not just gonna give it to you because you want it.
Yeah. And that's right. And a lot of times parents will mess this up and tell their children, "Oh, you're the greatest. You can do anything." No, you need to keep them grounded and say, "You know what? If you work hard, you can accomplish things." But but give them a reality check. My father was good about the reality check.
Yes.
Gosh, I could tell you stories. I remember when I was a little guy, right? And I was like, I asked my dad, I asked him, I said, how about if I had a girlfriend that looked like Donna Summer? Because I was so infatuated with her. he told me, and this was funny, and we laugh about it to this day. He said, son, she's a black woman. She's older than you. She's beautiful. She's famous. Everybody loves her. And you're a little white boy from New Mexico, which nobody even knows where that's at. And he said, no, there ain't a chance of that happening. But look, son, I know you'll have a good wife someday. So, and I was like, and I remember we would watch football and we'd watch the Dallas Cowboys. That's our team, right? And that's time I spent with my dad because he worked a lot. So we would have that time together. And I remember I told my dad as a little guy, I said, you know what? I'm going to play for the Dallas Cowboys someday. He said, son, no, you're not. You're too little and you're slow. And no, you're not going to play for He just told me. And I was like, I had my feelings hurt, a little kid. But you know what that did? And he wasn't being mean to me. He says, you're not going to do that. You don't have the size for it, the speed. You're just not built for that. But I think, you'll have a job and you'll do good things. I got faith in you. You just got to work hard. He would keep me grounded. He put a little positive message, but, he never told me, oh, yeah, you're going to do it. I know. No. And a lot of times us as parents, we love our children so much. And we want them to be successful. We want them to do great things, right? So sometimes we build them up more than we should. And sometimes that'll hurt them in life because if you make them believe they're the best, and when they get in the real world and find out they're not the best, that really knocks somebody down. And, but if you're humbled and you're grounded, when you do fall, you're able to pull yourself up and move forward. And I thank my father for that, because he kept me in reality, you know.
Another thing with my son, when he was little, he idolized Michael Jordan, and he wanted to play basketball. He wanted to be a baller. And when he was probably like 5 or 6, he played on a little league basketball team, and he was terrible. No. And his dad was one of the assistant coaches, and after one season, his dad straight up said, "Son, look, you're not a basketballer. You're not good at basketball." He's like, "I know you're tall, but you're not good at basketball." And my son is 6'5", and he can't play basketball to save his life. No, his thing is baseball and soccer and drums and music. And that's what my husband encouraged him to do. He's like, "Okay, we're not going to do the basketball thing, the football thing. You tried that in middle school. No, we're not doing that. We're going to concentrate on the baseball and the soccer and the music and stuff, the stuff that you're good at. We're going to work on that."
Yeah. And that's right. I mean, we all have our strengths and weaknesses. But and look, you could be humbled and be confident too. You know, I am grateful for my father. Yes. I mean, he taught me what a man's supposed to be. Now, my father and my mother were teenagers. And my father was so strict on me with dating and stuff. And I know why he was, because he didn't want me to, fall into lust like he did with my mother. And
my mom was really strict about dating with us.
yeah,
Oh, Lord.
And in fact, when I graduated high school, I kind of I went wild, because I could do what I want now. I was a man. I wasn't smart. I was young and dumb, but it was it was like freedom. But as I stepped into it, you might say, I found out my father's right, and I understand. And
oh yeah, between me and my mom, it's been mom 387,000 points and me 0. My mom never lied to me. She never led me astray. She was always very, very strict with us, especially with dating and boys. And she was never wrong. Never wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm grateful for my father and my mother too. Look, I was raised by my father. My father did marry my mother because of me, and they were married a couple years. And my mom said, okay, she gave me to my father because she knew I'd be better off with my father. My father had a job, he had stability, he had a little house. And my mom didn't have that. And she, and it was worked out where my dad took custody, and it wasn't a court fight. It was both agreed on, both parties. And I'm grateful for that. My mother let me have my father. And
wow, that's the first thing that's polar opposite from us. My dad is the one that left.
Yeah.
And my mom took care of me and my sister.
Yeah. Well, that's usually what happens. I'm kind of in the back. I go the other way with it. But I love my mother. I'm still, my mom comes over for, all the time. We have a relationship.
Sure.
She was just 17 when she had me, so I can't expect her to be mother of the year.
Oh, she was a baby.
Yeah. Well, my dad was 19.
They were both babies.
Yeah. And,
oh my goodness.
And the thing of it is my grandfather was like, you made your bed, you lying. My grandfather was tough. He didn't do nothing for my dad. He's just like, you do it. Now, if it got bad and we were on the street, he would have taken me in, sure. But it was like, you got to fix it. And
right on. Grandpa was on it.
He was on it, and it made my father better. And my dad was tough on me, and I look at that and I'm like, well, that's how we need to be. I mean, we need to be tough on our boys so they become men. Now, if they get into something they need help, okay, help them. But
Right.
they gotta learn to be self sufficient.
Right.
And you know, we lived in poverty the younger years of my life. I mean, because I got a teenage father. He don't have no skills, a job. You know, he graduated high school, but that's it.
Yeah.
So,
y'all
but
had to grow up together.
yeah, kind of, yeah. And you know, with my mother, it's kind of funny. It's like she was like my big sister. We would, when I would spend time with my mother, like on the summer and the holidays, it was like we were, you know, it was almost like brother and sister in a way. Yeah, she's my mom, but it was like she was young, and
she didn't have that maternal instinct.
She didn't, and I think that's why I really latched on the black women, because I had a babysitter, and I told you guys about this, a young black lady that was, I think she was like 17. I think my mom said she was 17. Well, I was 4 when she started watching me till I was 5, and I really latched on to her. I thought she was like the greatest person ever, because you know, when she would babysit me, she would and I was a little kid. I was littler than most. So she would call me big guy, and that meant a lot.
Aww.
And she would give me candy. So it's like, okay, you have my heart. Here you go. So and when I was little, I would get into trouble. I was, you know, hyper and a crazy little boy, right? And I would just I would go to my and my mom would be with my grandfather, staying with him, and when I go visit, and he had like a basement where it had a cement floor, and I used to roll those old Coke bottles back in the 70s, you know, we used to get, and I'd watch them break when they hit the cement floor. I would get into trouble. I was bad, but with her, I was good, and my mom loved her because she would have her babysit me when she went to work or did her thing. And she said, you know what? She was the only one that kept you in line. She said, I would give her extra money because she would do an amazing job. But it was just,
you know what I noticed? A lot, it seems that a lot of, I'm not going to speak for all of them, but the white women my age seem to not be really connected with their children, that they're having them just to, I don't know, have a link to protection and provision from their fathers, and they really don't care what happens to them. Those are the moms that are like, when you turn 18, you're gonna get out of my house, go, bye, you know. And I think Black women as a collective, we have more of a maternal instinct, simply because we grew up, a lot of us grew up in households with a single mom, and mom had to work. So that meant that the older daughters were doing the cooking and the cleaning and the laundry and taking care of the younger siblings, making sure they ate, making sure their homework was done, making sure they had baths, tucking them in at night. We did that. So we were very young mothers to our siblings. At least I was. I'm like the second oldest of 12 kids. My mom only had my older sister and myself, but my dad had 10 other kids with 4 other women. And my sister and I were kind of sometimes in charge of taking responsibility for the younger siblings. And I kind of think that's personally where my maternal instinct comes from, because I was kind of a second mom from the time that I was like 12 years old. I already knew how to be a mom by the time I was a mom.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's just something amazing about black women, and look, I remember our, just things I've seen in my life, and and I think what it is, and some people say, well, you had a young mother, so you clinged on to black women, and that's true, but I could see the beauty of black women as a child. I could feel that love. I could feel that. And look, I think that's where love is pure when you're a child, because I wasn't looking at her body shape or her butt or nothing like that. I didn't even, as a child, you're not in that mindset. You're little, but what you do is you cling to someone that shows you love, that picks you up, and is nice to you. And I remember I would just run to her and I would jump up and she'd grab me, give me a hug, and go give me some candy and stuff. And it was, as a kid, that's like the greatest thing, right? And I'm sure she treated all children like she treated me. But I didn't really have that interaction with my mother that most children have. So that there was some issues there. And I'm telling you, if children need both parents, and if you're missing one, the father or the mother, it's going to affect you. But I still had good parents. I had a good father and a good mother. My mother was good. She let me have my father because she knew it was best for me. Um, so she put me before herself. And I gotta love her for that, because she could have just, you know, kept me and, went after my dad for child support. But
And let me make it clear. My mom had a master's degree in business and accounting, and she was the head of our county family services, like for Medicaid and food stamps and what have you. She was the county head. She made 6 figures very easily. And she had us in the suburbs. We had a pool, we had cable in our bedrooms. We were the spoiled little girls. We were very spoiled. We had cars, we everything. And our mom worked, and then our grandma lived with us. And so grandma was like the stay-at-home mom. And we were pretty spoiled. But my mom saw what was happening, and my grandmother saw what was happening. And I mean, my mom and grandma have horror stories from being married to black men and having kids with black men, and they did not want that for us. So they made it very clear that you need to go to college, you need to see the world, you need to meet different types of people, and you need to date and marry who you like, not who looks like you. Date and marry who you like and be happy. And that's exactly what we did.
yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep. I want to say too, I think it's really important, that, black women, you know, get out of this mindset that you have to date someone because, oh, they have the same skin color as you. Oh, they went to, I mean, they went through slavery and everything. I think it's time that Black women get past that, get past that point, because again, you know, there is more out there than just, you know, being relegated to just remembering, you know, what happened in slavery. Now, I'm not saying that we should forget that. I'm saying that when it comes to, you know, when it comes to what's going on right now, and dating someone because they're the same color as you is not the way to go about things.
And ladies, please, 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 please check out Alexander Brandon's channel. He is an ally. He's a good man. And I speak for him because I am a mod for him too. And he's intelligent. He's loyal. Ladies, check him out, please.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I call him the diamond in the rough. Okay.
Yes, he absolutely is.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. Guys, I'm gonna have to close this down. It's been good talking to you. I had a good time tonight. I enjoyed the panel and everybody in the chat. Guys, I love you. I got a news story I want to do. I want to focus. Today I did an experiment with my news show. It was pre-recorded. It looked like a live show, and it was live, but I pre-recorded the night before, and I know it was a little sloppy. I know, but I was trying to see how it worked. But I did want to get that story out, so you ladies be careful.
Yes.
I wanted to show that because, you know, when you let things slide or you don't pay attention, you could be putting your life in danger. And that's what I wanted to make the point. And I wanted to make sure I could do pre-recorded live. Like they say, I've been watching videos on YouTube. You could do that. And it's real easy to do. That's what I did. It's not as good as a real live, but I mean, if you have to put something out and you have to show videos, it's a good thing. So that's what I was doing this morning. But I got some news stories I want to cover, and I want to do news stories, but I want to add a little extra to it. I want it to be enjoyable. You know, and like I said, I don't want to just cover Black women getting unalived. I want to do some positive stuff. You know, and I want to show what Black women are doing for society and where people see how amazing they are. Did you know there's 2 Black teenagers in Louisiana that these young ladies solved a math problem that hadn't been solved in like 200 years or something? They're really bright young ladies. They're geniuses, really. We don't see stories like that. There's I did a story on a young lady, I think she's like 14, where she's going to medical school and law school and already has degrees, and at that young age, like 14. I mean, we don't get to see stuff like that. All we hear about Black women is, oh, they're loud and acting crazy, and white men let them act. No, that's not true at all. That's a projection. That's a stereotype.
Most 14 years old and a genius.
Yeah. And look, that's how amazing Black women are. There's something Black women have that's amazing. And not all Black women are geniuses at 14, but you know, Black women do have something in common. Black women have a big heart. Black women have character. They're beautiful in that way. And I fell in love with black women, not just how they looked, but what's inside, how amazing they really are. And look, I have friendships with black women, and I see the beauty and how amazing they are. And it's ladies, you're special. You got something going on that we're not talking about. We're not putting it out there. I kind of feel in a way it's my job to talk about these things. And I think YouTube is a blessing in a way where I can, tell some truth. I can show you me and my wife's life in real time. You could see what I look like. You see me as a person. You see my wife. And I would show you my kids and grandkids, but I don't want them being attacked, so you don't see them.
Right.
But, just for their protection. I wish, look, when I went to Hawaii when me and my wife, we went to Hawaii, we took the whole family. And I wish I could have showed you videos of my kids, of my grandkids playing on the beach, having a good time. I wish I could show you that stuff.
Dude, I've been to Hawaii and it is awesome. But I would never, I don't want my kids or my granddaughter on.
Yeah. No,
I can't.
I get it. And I wouldn't do that either, but I would love to show you that because it's neat.
Right.
And if you look at my family, it's like an Indiana mom's got a family like mine, it's a biracial family, and we got from our kids to grandkids, light and dark skinned people. And it's like you can tell we're an interracial family, but it's neat. It's and we love each other, and it's awesome. And watching me and my wife, we're watching our family grow in real time in front of us. We're seeing new, we've watched our children be born. We're seeing our grandchildren being born, and another person added to our family. That's a beautiful thing. It's a blessing. And
I forgot. Oh, I wanted to share with you. Yesterday we just booked the hotel rooms and the flights and everything else for our 30th wedding anniversary for next summer.
Oh, okay.
The whole family, we're taking everybody, the girls, their boyfriends, our son, daughter-in-law, and our granddaughter, and my in-laws.
Oh, okay.
We're all going to Rome.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Woohoo!
Yeah, well, what I'm doing for my 30th anniversary is I want to have a ceremony with the family, but me and my wife are going off alone this time. This is, I don't know, we're going to go to Bahamas or Virgin Islands or somewhere in the Caribbean. Yeah. That's what we want to do. And
we went to the Virgin Islands for like our 15th. I think it was our 15th anniversary, and we left the kids. Okay. We left the kids with their grandparents to drive them insane for 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's our plans. Me and Sandy just wanted me and her to get away. So, but we're going to have something with the family because 30 years is.
Yeah.
Not everybody makes 30 years. I know my grandparents would laugh and say, hey, yeah, try 70 years. And then, but.
Oh, my in-laws are getting ready. Oh, I want to say it's been, geez. Getting close to 60. If I remember right. Oh, wait, no. Okay, my husband is almost 52, and they were married like it is. They're getting close to like 65.
years that they've been married.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That you got to respect that. That is, you know what? Um, yeah, that's amazing. That's well, in today's world, 3 years is amazing. It was like that's like
Yeah.
a
I mean, I
milestone.
hear people go, "Oh, we've been married for 6 years," and I'm like, really?
Yeah, like, well,
And
congratulations.
you're like proud? You're like flaunting it like it's something important. Uh, no. Dude, we were still in a honeymoon phase at 6 years. Really?
Yeah,
No, no.
yeah,
We had a 2-year-old at 6 years. I don't get it.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's today's world. I don't get it either. But yeah, let me go ahead and shut this down. It's already 11. I got to get to work in the morning. Unfortunately, I got to work on Saturday, but oh well.
Right?
Hey, yeah,
and
but go
I
ahead,
I got
Alexander.
and I got to a live at 7 in the morning, and
Oh goodness, yeah, you need to get some sleep.
Wow. Okay, that's early. Dude, why are you doing this to me?
So you know
Now,
up,
dude, so now I gotta set an alarm for like 6:45? Are you kidding me?
I apologize. I apologize. Um, I saw, because when the red pill came about, I saw an uptick in, bad things happening to Black women. And don't worry, we still going to do the ladies' night live when you're free to talk about the Black women and interracial relationships, favorite music, etc.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that live does not start until 6:15 in the afternoon.
Okay, that's better. Dude, you're killing me.
Dang, you're busy, Alexander. Wow.
Keep on preaching, brother.
Yeah. Well, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this. If you want to say something before I shut down, we'll let Indiana Mom go first. Ladies first.
Oh, okay. All I got to say is, ladies, divest. Open your options. You'll be happy. Otherwise, I don't know what to tell you. If you're gonna stay in Blackistan, then we just have to leave you behind. I'm not talking to those women. And Brent, thank you for being who you are. And big hugs to Sandy and your kids and the grandbabies. Tell them I said hello. Okay. And Alexander, I will see you tomorrow, sir.
All right. Well, Indiana Mom, big love to you and your family. Thank you so much. And I'll see you again soon. All right. And Alexander, go ahead, sir.
I want to say, I want what's best for Black women. If it means that they have to go outside of the Black race to find it, then I'm okay with it, because as of right now, I Black women are not happy in the Black community. They're putting a smile on their face to act like they are, but in real time they're not. And Indiana Mom, I will also see you tomorrow morning and in the afternoon.
Well, don't count on me being there in the morning. I'm just saying, it might be a toss up.
Okay.
I'm just teasing you. I will try to be there. Yeah. See you soon.
See you soon.
Love you guys.
All right. Love you too. Have a good night. All right. And Alexander, thank you so much. And it's good to have you on. And well, I'll be at work when you go live, but I'll listen in.
Yeah. Yeah, because like I said, ever since this red pill thing, happening, it's been an uptick in the black femicide and black women going missing. And I want to address that in the morning time. And because, I care about black women, and, I also, and now I worry for my sisters as well, because now I'm going to have to keep a good eye on them, because it would be if anything was to happen to them, I I don't know what I will do. But yeah, it was nice talking to you, and hopefully, if I don't see you in the morning, I'll hopefully, you will be able to come to the ladies' night live that I have. That will be in the evening. Yeah.
In the evening. Okay. All right. Well, I'll see you, Alexander. Thanks for coming up. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much. Good to see you guys. I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. And I appreciate your support. I appreciate everybody coming up, the panel. We've been on for 2 hours and 31 minutes. And I need to get some rest so I can get to work in the morning. But I got some days off coming, so I'll have a week I can lay around, be lazy, and do some YouTube stuff without having to rush home from work to do it. But guys, thank you so much. And look, black women, you need to feel good about what you've accomplished and what you're doing. Okay, you're an amazing, beautiful treasure amongst us. And I know not everybody tells you that, but I'm going to tell you that you are a blessing from God. When God created the black woman, he created a masterpiece. And I'm telling you, and not only how you look, but what's in your heart and your soul. There's no other woman like you. So embrace that. And anyway, and I would say, you know what? Open up your options. Okay, ladies, you are the best option. It's time you get the best option. Okay. And I mean that. And it's true. The numbers tell us that you're the best option. We can't, we have to tell the truth. Black women are the best option when it comes to marriage. They're the best option with white men, Asian, Hispanic, all of us. Okay. You're number one, black women. You're first class. And if a young man's looking for a wife and wants to fly first class, he needs to look towards the black woman. I'm just saying. I know people are going to hate me for it, but so what? I don't care. But anyway, I enjoyed being here tonight. Thank you so much. And it's good to see everybody. And I'll see you guys again. Sunday, I'm going to do the prayer meeting. I know I was going to do it this week. But I'm going to do it Sunday. And maybe I'll start going in the Revelations too. I know there was, like Carol was talking about doing that. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on that in our world, and it's like prophecies taking place right now as we speak. And I don't know if you follow the Bible, but looks like the end times are close. I'm just going to say that. I don't know when it's going to happen. No man knows. But anyway, but as we're still around, I'm going to be doing YouTube. And guys, I just want to thank you for your support. I want to thank you for being here tonight with me. And the panel, thank you so much. Indiana Mom, love seeing you. Pro, good to see you tonight. I enjoyed you coming up. Alexander, it's good to have you on. And look, I always enjoy panels anyway. I always enjoy talking to you guys. I can do a video with nobody coming on, and that's fine. Sometimes that's what happens. But I do really enjoy panels. I love getting everybody's perspective and knowing where you come from. But anyway, I'll see you guys. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. Okay. If you're going to go out and have fun, just be safe. Barbecue, have fun, get with the family. I'm going to have to eat a lot less because the holidays coming up because, I'm a good cook in the backyard. I'm just but anyway, thank you so much. And I'll see you guys soon. I'll see you guys Sunday for sure. Okay. Have a good night. God bless.